Hey guys, in this video we'll be going over, so this is the continuation of the Python video series. We'll be going over searching and replacing strings, or just, so working with that. Code commonly needs to search for substrings, which means a string within a string, or strings that appear within other strings. So basically part of a string or strings that appear within other strings. So the example is if you have a document open in your word processor and you need to search for a word that appears somewhere in it, well, you can use Control F on a Windows. Probably something similar for a Mac, but you can. I think that's also Linux too. But you can use that, and when you do that, it's basically searching the file or the strings for. It's using string methods. Basically, that's what's happening. So let's just do some examples. So again, if you're just searching for any piece of data that you've collected off the internet, that's what's happening. It's using string methods to look for data in the file or just in the data. Let's say you pull off a bunch of user data from some app and you're looking through it. You can look through it with string methods. So we can do some examples. So we can list some of the Python. So we'll list some of the Python string methods that search for substrings, as well as a method that replaces the occurrences of a substring within another string. So we have ends with, which takes a substring as a parameter. The method returns true if the string ends with the substring. What else do we have here? So looking for that example. Oh, so actually we'll do some examples in a sec. So some other methods that we have. Find. So you can use the find method to find. So it takes a substring as a parameter. The method returns the lowest index in the string where the substring is found. If substring is not found, the method returns -1. So once again, if I go to Python docs, I go like Python. If I Google Python docs, find string. So Python string. Okay, this isn't even on the docs. This is on Tutorials Point, which is another good website. Docs up. Again, these are hard to find. I'm not seeing anything crop up right away. So let me Control F this page. Find. Okay, so str.find returns the lowest index in the string where substring stb is found. So stb is the parameter within the slice start end. So you can use a slice let's just see what other, let's just look at the example here. So let's just check if we can. So you can use in, you can use ends with. Well, we'll go with the ends with. You can use find if you want. There's find, starts with, ends with. So let's just do an example here. For some reason I noticed, I don't know if it's a glitch, but pycharm or the video recorder isn't catching the output. I don't know if that's because I didn't have a main or if that's just something to do with Python. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I know if it debugs, it does. So I might have to always debug. So I'm going to just test this video and see if we're getting any output. I've tried to bring that screen, the run screen up. I've clicked run. So it's going to be hovering over half the page now, if you can see it. So let's just say we had a file name, like a pretend file name. So we had file name points to input. The file name points to the input function. Enter. So we'll just say enter the file name, and then we'll say if file name dot ends with. Oh, whoops, sorry. So that's camel case. So if file name dot ends with. So again, you can use ends with, starts with, all kinds of stuff. So let's just say I typed in a file name which is a string. Because input returns a string, so it's automatically going to infer that it's a string. The Python interpreter, which couldn't find that one error in, like, that simple error in the syntax. But it does have its pluses, so it can check that, you can automatically know that it's a string. So let's just say I type in file name dot operator. You probably can't see this, but if you're using pycharm or a good IDE, maybe Visual Studio or something, you can see lots of methods. So we have ones that we've done is digit, is alnum, is alpha, is space. So now we have starts with, ends with, is lower. Dot find that I talked about. There is a dot find. I think that is useful. So there's a bunch here you can use. Join, partition, r find. So there's a good amount. Not an infinity amount. It's a good amount. Maybe about 40 of them. Maybe 50 at the max. But there's a good amount of string methods that you might want to get familiar with. So let's just go with, right now we'll go with ends with. So if, we won't be able to do all of them, of course, because there's a lot, but we've covered a lot of the ones that are pretty common. So if file name dot ends with, dot txt, so it's going to check if it's a text file. Well, you can do this to check if it's a text file. You can do this to check basically any file type. You can check if it's like a JPEG file, picture. You can go like .mp4, .png, doc, PDF, C. You can check if it's a C file. .java. You can check if anything, whatever. .py. So you can check any file type with this. I'm gonna need that shift semicolon. So then we'll have if file name dot ends with .txt, then we'll print the file is a text file. Else so we could go with actually we could go with elif. File name dot ends with .py. Oops. .py. We can say print that is the name of a Python. We could say that the file is a Python file. Elif file name dot ends with PDF. We could print that the file is a PDF, obviously. Then in the next part, we'll have just a default condition, which you can't see now with this. If you can see that run screen, it's blocking that. So we have else, then we'll have print file type unknown, or not checked. So if we now run this with main, so I'll save it and run it, hopefully you guys can see it. Anyways, it's asking me enter the file name. Then I'll have to enter, so let's just say, well, let's go file.txt. The file is a text file, that's what it says. Print out, so we'll go to the next one. So we'll go file.py. The file is a Python file. We'll go file.doc. File type is unknown or not checked, that's what it's telling me. We can go with the last one, file.pdf. So file.pdf, it prints out the file as a PDF. So hopefully you guys can see that. Let me just pull that up. Hopefully you guys can see that. If you can't, I'll have to always run through the debugger from now on. But yeah, hopefully that helps. How long is that? 11-12 minutes? Okay, so let's see what else we have here. Start. So yeah, so we'll go over another example here. Actually, okay, so it's the last example in searching and replacing, and then in the next one we'll go over that second part of that password username generation, and we'll do the password generation. A couple more examples and we're done with strings. We'll be moving on to dictionaries and sets, and then objects and classes, and we're done. And then on to C#. If you're interested in C#, I'll be starting that one, that series, or .NET. So we have here find example. So the find method searches for the specified substring within a string. So searches for a specified substring within a string, so we could do like the blueberries example. Actually, we have another example here. So we have the method returns the lowest index of the substring if it is found. If the substring is not found, the method returns -1. Here's an example. Okay, I'm surprised that Python even has a find method, because it seems like there's no substring. So let's see what it can do. So we have a lot of common methods is missing in Python, it seems, compared to other languages. Sometimes they're done with tricks like slicing and stuff. We'll try this one. So we have str points to blueberries. Actually, why am I having that in parentheses? I think I'll have to call this, let's just go with fruit str points to blueberries. Then we can say index points to fruit str dot find blue. So let's see what it returns. So let's just go with print index. Let me click on run so that hopefully that comes up. So print index, I'll run it. Oh, whoops, sorry, not the string index. We'll print the variable index. And we have 0. Okay. Let's go with berries then, so we'll change blue to berries. So I think it's telling us that the string starts at index 0. So we print out berries. starts at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's kind of handy. Not necessarily, I mean, it doesn't really return us a string. So it returns the index, so it's missing. You can create your own method once again. So it is found at least, so I guess it's kind of useful. So there's another part of this example, because it returns -1 if it's not found, I believe. So it doesn't raise an exception, it returns -1. So we can change this to if index, or does that need a, why is this, shouldn't these be, yeah, they should be like that. Okay, so we'll have if index, so if index does not equal -1, we'll say that print index, we'll say string found at index, comma index, we'll pass an index, the variable index, we'll say else print the string was not found. Yeah, just the string was not found. That's it. Should be that's it. Okay, so we have that. Run it. String was found at index 4. Let's just say we're searching for what else we have? There's some random thing. We'll go with oranges. Whoops. Run it. The string was not found. So we have just a main call here. So once again, we have a fruit string pointing to some string. Index points to fruit string.find. So you can use the find method, which is pretty handy, I guess. It can be handy if you're looking for something in a string. It tells you the index. Again, you can write your own method to return a true or false instead of a 1 or 0. So it doesn't return a 0, returns a 1. So it returns the index found or -1 if it's not found. So we'll just write that here, returns -1 if not found. And I'll say does not raise an exception. Doesn't raise an exception, doesn't return true or false, so returns 0, or returns the index found. In this case, -1 was returned, I think. We actually, okay, so I think I should have passed an index here. If you guys can see that. Whoops. What's happening here? So click run. So now I'm passing an index at the end, so hopefully it returns us -1. Okay, so it says the string was not found, -1. So we can just say error code -1. Whoops. Oh yeah, let's just pretend we had this in the string. Whoops, error code. So error code, then will return us -1. So the string was not found, error code -1. So there you go, wasn't found. If we have peach or something, looking for peach in blueberries, the string was not found, error code -1. Looking for berries again, string was found at index 4. So hopefully that helps. In the next video we'll be working with that example I told you guys to save if you're watching the series, the one on the username creation. we'll go over the password generating algorithm, which creates passwords on websites and stuff, just a simple thing. We'll do that. So we'll work with we'll call our modules that we made before. So thanks for watching. If you guys want to, if you guys want to support the channel for more free content, you can like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.